Most people will tell you that the decision as to whether or not to have a child is something that clearly warrants deep contemplation. And most people will also tell you that it is a decision that clearly warrants a damn good justification. While simultaneously, most people have given little to no fucking thought as to what that damn good justification would even look like. And this is very commonly seen. This is heavily reflected in the way in which many people initially approach the philosophy of antinatalism. They're giving these very cheap, half-ass sort of responses to this very, if we're to be honest about it, this very profound, very meaningful sort of question as to, yeah, should I do this? Should I do this thing that is obviously one of the most meaningful things that I will ever do with my life, which is, yeah, as to whether or not to have a child. That decision is, the immensity of it makes itself felt quite easily, and most people don't fucking ask the question, yet they will tell you that this is something that obviously warrants, again, deep contemplation, a damn good justification, and they can't give you a good answer oftentimes as to what that looks like. And I'm not saying that this means, yes, the philosophy of antinatalism is unquestionably true and there's no good justification that anyone could ever give, but I do think that it heavily highlights the mindless, the way in which many people approach this decision is completely without thought, completely without care, just complete reckless abandonment, as though this decision is about as fucking important as the decision as to what you're going to eat for breakfast tomorrow morning. That's the way in which many people approach this question. So it warrants justification, clearly. And I was also thinking, so obviously I'm not saying you need to justify yourself to little old me. I'm not saying that you need to think of a good enough reason to have a child so that you can justify yourself to me. But to sort of paint the picture on a more, let's get serious here. If your child was to come to you as an adult and confide in you and tell you that he's been in a great deal of suffering for quite some time now, and he's barely hanging on by a thread, and he asks you this very intimate, again, very profound sort of question: why did you bring me here? Why did you create me? Why did you decide to impose the gift of life onto me? What the fuck are you going to tell him? That's what I mean by sort of justifying the decision. Not to me, but in that sense that this decision is clearly something that is going to affect far more people than just yourself. It isn't just a fucking personal decision. Oh yeah, it's just, why are you so concerned as to whether or not someone has a child or when they have a child or any, like, these are human beings that you're forcing into existence that will have an impact on lives that are all around us. This is far more than just your prospective child's quality of life, your quality of life. It's classmates, for example. It's all these things. These are human beings that are going to have to interact with other human beings, and you're forcing them into existence. So yeah, it fucking matters. Little off track. I ranted. But yeah.